a storm. Hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on, walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. Walk on, walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk
We'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away.
Okay, got it.
Around. Okay. Yep. Done.
I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway. More, much more than this, I did it my way.
Good afternoon. For those of you who haven't met me yet, my name is Toby, and on behalf of Dina and Angie, thank you all for being here today to support them and each other in celebrating Brian's life and saying goodbye. Welcome also to those of you who are watching this ceremony live and are with us in spirit. Today, in particular, we feel strong and mixed emotions. Sadness, of course, because of the loss we feel, but also thankfulness for the love, the kindness, the friendship, and of course the fun Brian gave us. On behalf of Dina, I'm now going to read her eulogy to you. I hope I'm going to do it justice. Dad loved the music, TV and films of the 1940s and 1960s. And I naturally caught a hold of this love myself. And we would always be talking about finding different things our favourite actors were in. Dad was known as Lord Gillmon of Peckham by his co-workers in the insurance business where he worked. I would sometimes go with Dad to work when I was younger as work experience. Dad was perfectly confident at collecting insurance money in Peckham, where no one else basically wanted to go for its rough reputation of being the land of crooks and muggings. Dad was once stopped and held by the police at Peckham because they were suspicious of his regular toilet stops with a briefcase full of cash. They thought he must be a gangster, but they did let him go when he, in a quiet way, explained that actually he was an insurance man collecting money and didn't want the drug runners that the police had mistaken him for being to know what he was collecting in his briefcase. Otherwise, he would well have been clipped on the head next time for that briefcase. The police actually had thought that Dad was meeting drug runners in the toilet due to it being a regular pit stop on his collecting rounds. Dad was counting insurance money another time while waiting for the AA as he had broken down on the motorway. And he was alarmed by the police knocking on his window. The police thought he had held up a bank with the amount of money that he was counting in his car, until he got it verified that it was his insurance business and that he was counting it while waiting to be recovered. So, thus, Lord Gillmon of Peckham, because Peckham collecting didn't faze him. Many other collectors had been mugged, but Dad always had a dodge for potential muggers that did work. He'd turn into a sort of Sergeant Bilko sort of genius and say to the approachers, "Oh, I've just come from your mum's house. She wants to know that you're all right." To pretend that he knew them, to throw them off their stroke, as Dad put it. Dad loved the Rat Pack, Frank, Dean, Dinah, and many other singers of the crooner era. He loved film actors such as Errol Flynn, Peter Lorre, Bogart, William Holden, Richard Burton, Rita Hayworth, Marilyn Monroe, Yvonne De Carlo, and many, many others. I loved these actors too, and we would often watch them together. He also loved watching Sergeant Bilko, Minder, Hogan's Heroes, and the great Jack Benny show. When I was little, we often would play balloon volleyball in his room. It was our time after Dad's work. We had 3 hits to get to the other side, with the other person trying to stop it. And I really treasured those moments as a child. When he was younger, Dad worked for DFDS Seaways, in charge of the cabin tickets on ferries. We often went on the boat excursions with Dad and work friend Sandra too. Dad taught me how to be sneaky at sports by changing to bat left-handed in cricket, as there were no fielders on the right-hand side perhaps, to catch the hit and aiming at opposition's heads in badminton, or aiming up at the light, he. Dad taught me well because I was always seemed unbeatable at school without even trying. I had just learnt how to be fun sneaky like Dad was. Once, as a very young child, I sneaked into Dad's room very carefully on my hands and knees behind the furniture to sneak up on him and jump out to outsmart him. But when I got to the corner, ready to pounce, there was Dad already on his hands and knees with a grin to meet me. It scared the life out of me, got me screaming and laughing because Dad had been standing doing the ironing while I had ventured in crawling in. He'd spotted me and beat me at my own game. That was always dear to my heart too, as a memory. Dad loved watching Wimbledon and football. He loved McEnroe and Eric Cantona. He loved doing any games, especially throwing the beanbag at the cans. That was his favourite, and would knock them all over very quickly. He used to play league hockey and badminton, and won his league, and had many sports tournament trophies. Dad taught me and my sister card games, and we would play the Happy Family card games together, and gin rummy regularly as we grew up. In Dad's younger days, he would sneak the combination to the family safe where the best sweets were being held, where he lived, and run off with them with brother Mervyn. As a child, he loved playing with fighter kites. He fell in a well once trying to retrieve his ball while under fire from the Japanese. He was rescued by one of the servants there in British Burma, preventing him from drowning. He served in the RAF in the war in Cyprus, attempting to keep peace between the two. He was often mistaken for being both Greek and Turkish, and loved playing cards with other servicemen. More recently, we would do quizzes with Dad and Mum on music and film. We would always go for family meals at Christmas time and birthdays, and they would both end up singing the answers. These last 2 years had many videos of Dad playing cricket, boating, and playing war games and pirates and westerns. Dad loved the fun of dressing up and acting out character roles. He loved life. He was full of fun and always had his sneaky, cheeky grin that I treasured seeing. I've missed him dearly since he has been gone from this earth. My last treasured memories with Dad was him conducting with his hand like an orchestra to my sister, and me singing to him, whilst the rest of the place was probably begging for us to leave, for the noise to stop. I knew he was proud of my sister singing, knowing all the words. I could tell he was pleased as he squeezed my hand when I told him stories Uncle Mervyn had told me, and how I told him that Uncle Mervyn's challenged our Errol Flynn to a fight with Robert Ryan, Mervyn's favourite. I could tell that touched Dad's heart. I also told Dad that Mervyn thought Jack Kelly was as good as James Garner in the TV series Maverick, one of Dad's favourites. I could tell he was smiling inside at that, as Dad would always tease me about Jack Kelly and that he was the lesser Maverick, whilst I praised Jack Kelly as an equal Maverick to James Garner, and we would often light-heartedly argue over that. I miss you already, and I love you, Dad, so much. I still hear Dad calling me at home at night, but wake up and he's not there to see. But I wonder if, like in Carousel, he's trying to get an angel to me so that he's okay. Here is a video that captures some moments of your laughter and times here on earth with us, particularly the last 2 years. Love and miss you forever, and look forward to seeing you again.
my heart without a love of my own.
upset your plans? You've come to Nottingham once too often. When this is over, my friend, there'll be no need for me to come again.
Rodrigo.
Did I upset your plans? You've come to Nottingham once too often. When this is over, my friend, there'll be no need for me to come again. You're sore, Gisborne.
Could be systematic, hydromatic, ultramatic. Why could be greased lightning? Greased lightning.
We'll get some overhead lifters and 4-bell quads, oh yeah.
Keep talking, won't keep talking.
Fuel injection cut off and chrome-plated rods, oh yeah.
We'll get already, we'll get already.
With the 4-speed on the floor, never waiting at the door. You know that ain't a shit where they get lots of tit. Grease lightning. Go, grease lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile.
Grease lightning, go, grease lightning.
Go, grease lightning, you're coasting through the hip lap drives.
Grease lightning, go, grease lightning.
You are supreme, the chicks are cream for grease lightning. Go, grease lightning, you're burning up the quarter mile.
Grease lightning, go, grease lightning.
Go, grease lightning, you're coasting through the hip lap drives.
Grease lightning, go, grease lightning.
You are supreme, the chicks are cream for grease lightning.
Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Old dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, Moon River and me.
We're now going to hear a reading from Angie, Brian's firstborn daughter.
Memories of my dear dad. He always called me Ema, copying my younger sister who couldn't pronounce my full name when I was little. He was such a lovely, caring dad and was always there for me. Firstly, praying at the side of my incubator to survive after my botched birth when I was born. When I had little chance of surviving, and God obviously answered because I'm still here. He was also waiting for me at the hospital by the side of my bed for me coming out of an epileptic coma aged 5, which I also survived. And then again, he was there for me when I had my diabetic coma aged 13. And then, once again, he was there for me at my bedside after my 10-hour brain operation, aged 27 years old. One miracle after another. My dad was always there for me. He would drive from Maidstone to Bromley, sometimes very early in the morning, to take me to all my many hospital appointments. Many hours of waiting room gave us time to talk. He was such an educated and clever, teaching me many things, like sorting out my music equipment, my TV and DVDs. He also showed me how to handle my finances, but I also taught him something, like how to show me affection, which was something he found so hard to do. I do feel very proud. After a lot of persuasion, I finally succeeded. He was very unselfish, and he would let me play my CDs in his car. I would play my Boyzone and Westlife instead of his favourite music of Frank Sinatra and the Rat Pack. I will always be so thankful to God for bringing him back to our family home for 9 months at the weekend, and that we could share the care of Dad that he needed with Dina and Jamie, who cared for him on weekdays, and we could love and care for him to all his needs. Those times were so precious to Mum and me, as he still knew who we were, and he had hours to talk about the old days he could always remember. Well, dear Dad, I shall miss you so much, but I look forward to when I come to you in heaven and my body will be all healed like yours is now, meaning you can then teach me to play tennis, hockey, badminton and table tennis, just like you taught Mum and Dina. As you were a champion at all sports with many trophies to show at home. Till then, dear Dad, I love you so much, lots and lots, so God bless you from your firstborn daughter, Angie, or again, as you always called me, Ema. Thank you. Thanks.
Reading. This has been written by Charlotte, and Bev, I think you're going to read it, are you?
This was written and due to be read by my niece Charlotte, who is self-isolating along with her family. They're all very upset they're not here in person today, and I hope they do them justice in reading this, but they're all watching, I know, online. This message is to Brian. On the 20th of July, I lost someone very close to me. To my heart and to a piece of me broke, but instead of feeling sad that you have now gone, I tried to refocus on the memories that I have of you and everything you taught me as I grew up into the person I am today. Brian, I'm so grateful for everything you did for me growing up. You formed such a huge part of my childhood. We played together, you picked me up from school, and became known as the sweetie man to all my friends. But our days to the Malta Inn are what stood out to me most. You always choosing scampi and a chocolate sundae, and me choosing chicken chips peas and my chocolate cheesecake, you never forgot. We went on to our river walks, and you always tell me to run into trees on the way down hills to avoid the river. You loved badminton your whole life, and that's one of the skills you taught me. I have so many distinctive memories of you that I will keep in my heart forever. I'm so glad I got to make so many recent memories with you too. I know you were struggling to talk at the end, and thank you for responding and reacting the way you did, so that I know you heard what I said. I know in my heart what you were trying to say, and I will never ever forget that. Also, thank you for that appearance at my graduation you gave me. A sign that I knew you were watching over me. I hope I have made you proud, which I know she has. Having to carry on is hard, but I know you want me to. So until we meet again, Brian, rest in peace and sleep tight. Lots of love, Jessica and I, and we miss you always.
And now, would you like to stand if you choose, but you can by all means sit if you'd rather. And we're going to hear another one of Brian's favourite songs by Frank Sinatra, You'll Never Walk Alone. And the words are in the service book. So...
When you walk through a storm, keep your chin up high, and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of the storm is a golden sky and the sweet
silver song of the lark.
walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed
And blown.
walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed
And blown. Hope in your heart, and you'll never walk Dina is going to give us a short prayer.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not be in want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. Though I walk through the valley of death, I will fear no evil. Dear God, I thank you for my dad's life. I thank you for the blessing of having him with his cheeky grin and his sneaky smile. I thank you for giving him to me to help me catch the love of the 50s that's so much a part of my life, and my precious friends here too. And Uncle Mervyn, I thank you for all that my dad is. Thank you that you saved him from the well, and you saved him when he had malaria. Thank you for giving him as such a blessing of all of our lives here. And we give him now to you in your hands and trust that you will look after him. Thank you so much for him. And I pray that you'll bless everyone here and everyone that's watching, and they'll be able to chat and remember good memories of my dad that he's brought to all of our lives here. I pray that you'll bless everyone that can't be with us, those that are able to watch, and all of us here, that they'd all leave with an extra blessing, dear God, from you, and remembering the good things that my dad's brought into their life. Thank you, God, for him. Amen.
Amen. Brian, with love, we commit you to your natural end. Our final song, which is I'll Walk with God, by another favourite singer of Brian's, Mario Lanza. So if you would like to join in again, please, and the words are printed in your service sheet, and my colleague and I are going to take Brian and put him on the catafalque during this song.
I'll walk with God from this day on. His helping hand I'll lean upon. This is my prayer, my humble plea. May the Lord be ever with me. There is no death, though eyes grow dim. There is no fear when I'm near to Him. I lean on Him forever, and He'll forsake me never. He will not fail me as long as my faith is strong. Whatever road I may walk along, I'll walk with God. I'll take His hand. I'll talk with God. He'll understand. I'll pray to Him each day to Him, and He'll hear the words that I say. His hand will guide my crown and rod, and I'll never walk alone while I walk with God. Moon River, wider than a mile, I'm crossing you in style someday. Old dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. we're after the same rainbow's end, waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend, moon